Hi everyone, welcome back. And I just wanted to start with pulling an affirmation card from the deck I Am Enough. And I wanted to make sure, as always, that you know that I am honored and humbled that you're here with me, as well as thankful and grateful. I am excited to talk to you today about women's health care. Some people like to call it reproductive care, but I think that's another misrepresentation by people who are trying to push a narrative, or maybe they just don't know. I don't know. So I'm here to enlighten some people about my journey and what's happened to me, which is another anecdotal evidence, but maybe it will help somebody understand better and realize that there's different things going on. Okay, so the card is I forgive myself and set myself free. Sorry, it feels like there's like two cards here. It's like extra thick. Okay. Forgiveness isn't approving of what happened. It's choosing to rise above it. Robin Sharma. Okay, so that being said, I am going to give you some more TMI information about my own healthcare again. So we got to start way back a couple decades ago when I was first diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome. And just like the name implies, you have cysts on your ovaries, which is diagnosed through an ultrasound. And it can also come with other symptoms, usually symptoms because you have too much testosterone, which is a hormone. Oh, first, I'm not offering any medical advice. I'm just telling you about my own personal experience. So you need to talk with your providers about your treatments or whatnot yourself, because everybody's different. So back to that. Hormones, imbalanced hormones. So you can get so the treatment, sorry, it kind of threw me off for a second. So the treatment for this is hormone, as well as sometimes you're prescribed metformin as well. But so hormones, aka contraceptive or birth control. So I was prescribed birth control at a very young age to manage my disease that I was diagnosed with from imaging and symptomology. So I didn't really understand back then what could happen if I didn't continually take my birth control. And the reason, why would you not do that, you might ask? Well, one of the reasons is because it was birth control. First of all, let's stop just calling it birth control, because really all it is hormones. And obviously I wasn't prescribed it for birth control. I was prescribed it for actual, problems. So one of the symptoms is, it's called amenorrhea, and I was a young athlete. So amenorrhea is kind of like skipping your menstruation. So I could have one possibly every 9 months. And I didn't really see any problem with that. Okay. Until a few years later, well, actually maybe more than a decade later. But, so the main reason I didn't take the medicine was because insurances didn't like to pay for it. So I had to pay full out of pocket for it because people call it birth control. Isn't that spectacular? And because I didn't look into it, my providers didn't tell me that like actually not shedding the lining of the endometrial every month, or like every other month, or more frequently than was happening with me, it can actually cause cancer later on. So you really need to do it. So like I said, fast forward a decade and a half later, they tell me that, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But nothing really happened then until a couple decades later, So then I have to go in what they call an EMB, which is E like Edward, M like mother, and B for biopsy. So it's an endometrial biopsy, okay? Because I was having other symptoms happening. You can look up those yourself. It's kind of gruesome, so I don't want to talk about it here. But so what did they prescribe me the night before my biopsy? And mind you, I do have to go back like every 6 months for a biopsy. Well, because the first one came back not negative, right? So I have to continually go back, and I'm also on treatment, but we'll get to that in 1 second. Okay, so my bottle, I don't know, can you read it here? Okay, so the name of the medication is down here, misoprostol. And it's, the instructions are to take 3 the night before your EMB procedure. However, let's just talk about what most people think misoprostol is for. Now, the other thing that it's for, we'll get to in a minute, but sometimes it's prescribed with another medication, which is kind of a hormone, but it doesn't have to be. Some are just prescribed this. And what's that called? What is misoprostol used for that most people want to say that like that's what it is? It's also called medical abortion. So I just wanted to let you know that birth control contraceptives are used for healthcare, albeit it has to do with my ovaries and my reproductive organs. I wasn't taking it for anything to do with reproduction. Same with the medical abortion pill that I need at least twice a year. Not for having an abortion. It's for health care of my uterus. So that being said, the treatment for the abnormal path that I got back from my biopsy that I had to take medical abortion pills in order to have is, dun, da, 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 again, birth control. So I had to have an IUD placed that continually releases progesterone. Now, do I have an IUD for birth control? No, I have an IUD so I don't get full-blown cancer in my endometrial lining and then have to take chemo and surgery. So hopefully this works. Otherwise, I'll have to go through that anyway because I didn't take my birth control because my insurance wouldn't pay for it and because I didn't know it would cause any more problems. Plus, when I was younger, it was just it was also cheaper. And for those of you who personally know me, I'm kind of frugal. Even if I had the money, I would still want to save the money. But I didn't always have the money. And not having the menstruation that month I didn't have to pay the money for the hormone/contraceptive birth control. I also didn't have to purchase any feminine products either. So anyway, now I've been prescribed, tablets and oral contraceptives, tablets, medical abortion tablets, and had an IUD placed for treatment of a disease dealing with women's reproductive organs. So let's just call this women's health care, not reproductive health care, because that's what it is. Literally, that's what it is. Now, there's so much more going on with this, but like people in different states doing different things, but there was a senator from Alabama, bless her little heart, wants to push this Moms Act, and she's trying to say it's good for moms and whatnot. But really what's in there is they want to create a registry to kind of like track your menstruation, so they can kind of see and make sure you're not having abortions like in other states or somewhere else. And I'm kind of like, what about people like me? They already don't understand that these are medications, not just for what they call them and what they want them to be, but also other things. And then like, what about me that wasn't taking them or couldn't afford it at certain times? Then like, are they gonna haul me in and think I was pregnant because I didn't have my normal menstrual cycles for a few months and then I started? Or I don't know, but they already misrepresent this, so I'm a little nervous about that. Plus, why are you being so invasive? But anyway, we're going to talk way more about different stuff happening to women's health care in different videos. I just wanted to go through the wait, what? Moment with you about, is it women's health care or is it reproductive health care? Although I do appreciate some people even calling it reproductive health care, because some people don't even do that. But it's really just health care for women. So please stop attacking it. I would like to live. Thank you. Bye.